And Israeli Defense Forces say 2 hostages are alive and in good medical condition after being rescued from Gaza. This comes as the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says dozens were killed by Israeli airstrikes in Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinians are now sheltering. Foreign correspondent James Longman joins me now from Tel Aviv, Israel, for more on this. James, an Israeli source tells ABC News the location of these 2 hostages rescued from the Gaza Strip was actually known for weeks, but that this rescue was delayed several times. What more can you tell us about how they were finally rescued?
Yeah, Diane, it seems that they had this information for weeks, but there wasn't a moment where Israeli special forces felt they could go in. What we know is that just before 2 o'clock this morning local time, the IDF located this building in Rafah, that city in the south of Gaza, and they identified that these 2 hostages were on the 2nd floor being held at gunpoint. The whole operation took about 40 minutes. They say it was a complex operation during which they took fire. We know at least one of the IDF forces was injured in the operation, and on their way out, that's when they encountered some resistance. And actually, we just spoke to one of the spokespeople for the IDF, and he said that's when the IDF called in airstrikes. And then we've seen these numbers from the Hamas-run Health Ministry saying that more than 60 Palestinians were killed in airstrikes. It might be that they are related to what's going on in this operation. It's quite difficult. Often the Israelis don't like to give you too many details on what they're doing inside Gaza, but there does seem to be a correlation between this operation and those airstrikes. Great news for these 2 men, Fernando Marmon and Louis Ha, who were taken in October 7th, obviously that Hamas attack from a kibbutz close to Gaza. They were taken in a larger group, actually, and some of their relatives were released from captivity in those hostage negotiations just a few weeks ago, and so it was a very happy reunion today. We spoke to one of the relatives down at the hospital. They got the call very early in the morning to rush down there, and you know, it was tears of joy and relief in the hospital. But again, whenever we speak to the families of released hostages, they always say the same thing. They're happy, they're relieved, but there are many others who still need to be freed from captivity. Diane?
James, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is vowing continued military pressure until total victory. What exactly does that mean? And for the people in Rafah especially, what does that mean after these airstrikes?
Yeah, total victory. Benjamin Netanyahu says this again and again and again, but it's quite unclear what that actually means. I mean, military victory over Hamas as an entity that can run Gaza or that can attack Israel, possibly. Victory over an idea. What is Hamas inside Gaza? I mean, these are debates that have been going on for the last 4.5 months, and they won't stop when Israel calls time on this military operation. Certainly, he feels that there needs to be a ground operation in Rafah. The IDF have said that there are 4 Hamas battalions that operate in the Rafah region, and that leaving them and not pursuing them would mean that Hamas remained in control of Gaza. So that's the Israeli argument. Clearly, more than 1 million people in Rafah who've fled the war, other parts of Gaza, very worried about what that could mean for them.
All right, James Longman in Tel Aviv, Israel. Stay safe, James. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.